Introducing the Consumer Price Guide for Replacement Windows. We're going to take a look at the 2015 National Edition of the Consumer Price Guide for Replacement Windows and how this guide can be used as a tool to establish credibility, to cost impression the consumer, and to price condition the consumer. By becoming more proficient or more effective in these key areas, we are going to have a drastic improvement on our closing percentages. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. The Consumer Price Guide for Replacement Windows, Step 1 is going to be the introduction, how to properly introduce this guide to the consumer. Have you ever seen this guide before? That's a great question to ask the homeowner. Expect as if they have seen the guide before. Normalize it. Perhaps they've seen it at a home and garden show. Maybe they saw it online while doing research for replacement windows. Perhaps another contractor introduced this guide to them when they were acquiring another estimate. In any case, let's act as if they may have very likely seen this guide before and bolster our credibility as a result. Then we're going to compare this guide with Consumer Reports. Consumer Reports is by far and large the most popular, most familiar cost index, and people are familiar with other studies or cost studies done by Consumer Reports when they compare vehicles side by side, when they compare cell phone brands and compare and contrast. And so we want to explain that Consumer Price Guide is the exact same type of scenario, in this case with home remodeling, specifically replacement windows. Then we want to explain why the guide was developed. It was developed to save consumers time, money, hassle, and aggravation associated with shopping for replacement windows. Consumers do not like shopping for replacement windows. As a result, they often procrastinate and cut themselves short, get far fewer estimates than they really should acquire, and they hurt themselves as a result. And so this information is being brought to the forefront to help consumers. Now, the homework was very, very well done. The research was thorough and comprehensive, and we want to explain to the homeowner the process of how this information was acquired. The mystery process, the mystery shopping or secret shopping process. We want to explain that. All across the country, in the Midwest, the East Coast, the West Coast, there were homes rented and estimates acquired at those homes. That way, a baseline could be established at the exact same property, apples to apples comparison from one brand of replacement windows to another. And so the 8 most popular brands is who was shopped. All across the country, it was researched who are the 8 most popular brands that exist in every market, and those were the companies that were shopped to establish this apples to apples baseline of pricing in replacement windows. Now, once we've established how we acquired this information, we want to ask a trial close or a test question. Are you curious to learn what they found in the study? Let's see how engaged they are. Step 3 is going to be to cost impression the consumer. Let's start to give them an idea of what it's going to cost to replace their windows. And we're going to turn to pages 10 and 11 in the window selection and national pricing, and we're going to show them that on the low end, even lowest quality available, low-end vinyl windows, they came in about $450 each installed. That was as low as you could expect to pay to have new windows installed in your home by a professional organization. Now, you certainly could get it done less if you got on Craigslist or maybe dealt with an unlicensed contractor, but that was for a professional company as cheap as they could find getting it done. Now, on the high end, $1,950. They looked at wood windows, vinyl clad windows, fiberglass windows, vinyl and composite windows. And they found that at the very ceiling, you're looking at almost $2,000 an opening to replace your windows. So let's bring that close to home. Let's explain to the homeowner how that translates to their project in particular. We've got to get specific. So we're going to use an example here to show you how to take this information and bring it close to home so that the homeowner understands what it would cost to replace the windows at their house. In this example, The homeowner has 10 regular size windows, so those will be priced as 10 windows. They also have one oversized window. That will be priced as 2 windows because it is oversized. Now, we will also have one bay or bow window. That window will be priced as 5 windows because there are 3 windows in the unit, perhaps 2 casements and a picture window, and then there's a roof that needs to be built over top and knee braces and supports underneath, so it's priced as 5 windows. So 17 window equivalent in total. That's how we're going to price this particular job. On the low end, 17 times $450 comes out to $7,650. $7,650 on the low end, as cheap as you can expect to have your windows replaced in the U.S. In the mid-range, 17 windows times $1,200, you're looking at $20,400 being the median price you could expect to pay to replace your windows in the U.S. Now, on the high end, 17 times $1,950, you're looking at $33,150 at the ceiling of cost for replacing your windows. Now, step 4, after we've brought the cost, we're going to cost impression again. And we're going to do that by introducing another page in the Consumer Price Guide, and that introduces the cost versus value study put out by Remodeling Magazine, and it confirms the Consumer Price Guide's findings, showing that there is significant cost associated with replacing your windows, and it also discusses the return on investment, not only what you could expect to pay, but what you could expect to realize in return. By supplying these third-party sources, multiple third-party sources, this means more trust, more credibility. And that's what we're trying to establish here is trust, credibility from third-party social proof. Now, last but not least, step 5 is going to be to price condition or price impression. We're going to get specific as to the cost of these 8 national brands. We're starting out at the bottom with Home Depot, Window World, Lowe's, Champion, Sears, Infinity by Marvin, Pella, and Renewal by Andersen. And you can see the price goes up the left-hand side of the guide. That's very clear. What's not as clear is going towards the right. There's a very strong correlation of quality. Does not mean that one company on top of the other is higher quality. However, there is a strong correlation there. And so we want to make them aware of the fact that there's a correlation between price and quality. Now, where our company happens to fall on the graph is right there in the center where price and quality collide. That's where you'll find us, the best value, the best bang for your buck, so to speak. And that's where most people really want to end up, is right there at the best value. Now let's take a look and see what kind of investment it would take, what we're looking at for our windows in your home.